I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to our Tuesday morning, July 9th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. My name is Andy Hunthausen. To my left, Commissioner Tom Rolfe.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning, and Brandi Spangler. She's taking care of us today. Thank you, Brandi. To my right, Commissioner Candace Payne. And Roger Baltz, our Chief Administrative Officer. There is a sign-in sheet in the front as well as agenda, so we'd like everyone to sign in prior to leaving today so we have a good record of who's attended our meeting. And we will start with our consent action items. Mr. Baltz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. You have two items to consider today. I'll read them into the record for you. The first one is item 2A, vendor claims report for the week ending July 5, 2024. Staff recommends approval. The next item is item 2B, public meeting minutes for September 19, October 5, 2023, May 16, 21, 23, and 28, June 18, 20, 25, and 27 of 2024, and staff recommends approval of that item as well. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you very much. Any questions, Commissioners, about the consent action items? How about public comment on consent items? Public comment. Seeing none, is there a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve consent action items 2A and B as explained by Mr. Baltz.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve consent action items as presented. Further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, on to item number 3 on the agenda, which is a professional services contract between Lewis and Clark Public Health and PureView Health Center. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. I'm Drenda Niemann. I'm the Health Officer with Lewis and Clark Public Health. And today I have before you a professional services agreement between Lewis and Clark Public Health and PureView Health Center. The purpose of this contract is to provide HIV medical case management and support services for HIV infected individuals living in Lewis and Clark County. Medical case management provides a range of client-centered activities focused on improving health outcomes in support of HIV care continuum. The scope of the work also has provisions for emergency financial assistance for urgent needs to improve health outcomes. On average, PureView has served about 30 individuals on their caseload, and that's on average. This contract is funded through our grant task order between Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services that was brought before you and approved back in June. The funding includes $2,500 for medical case management and support services provided to eligible clients, $11,900 for emergency financial assistance. In addition, there's $6,800 available for vaccine counseling and referral. This will allow a maximum of $21,200 available for reimbursement to PureView Health Center. The contract will be effective between July 1st, 2024 and June 30th, 2025. And staff recommends approval. I'm happy to answer questions.
Thank you very much. How about questions, Commissioners? I'll just follow up just for those that might be listening, watching today. This is something we've done for a long time, this type of work. And it is kind of normal process. You mentioned this in your comments, but just speak to that a little bit. And we work with PureView and other counties and on some of these efforts. So just opportunity to kind of blow your horn on some of the good work you're doing around this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Yes, this is an agreement that we've had with PureView for many years. The state of Montana gives the health department a grant to do medical case management for this population. And PureView already has case managers on staff and more than happy to do this work. And they do a really great job of connecting with individuals in this community, doing outreach, and then providing this really important service. So the partnership that we have with PureView is incredible, and they do such a great job of providing service to this population. And we're just glad to be able to give them the resources to do it. And this is a really important program that the state funds. And so with the money coming down to the health department, this is how we've chosen to operate and have done this now for many years.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
I've got a question.
Oh, please.
Drenda, pardon me. Can you give us a ballpark figure as to how many people are being served by this?
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Chair and Commissioner Payne, on average, they have about 30 individuals on their caseload in our county. On average.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay. How about public comment on this item? Any public comment? Any public? Seeing none? Is there a motion, please, commissioners?
Chairman Hunthausen, I move that we approve the professional services contract between Lewis and Clark Public Health and PureView Health Center as presented by Drenda Niemann.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the professional services contract as presented. Further discussion, commissioners?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
if
sir.
I might, I just want to say that I come to really appreciate the partnership that the county's had for many years with PureView Health in items like this. I think it makes a real difference for our community.
I'd comment also, and it isn't just the individuals who are actually seeking the treatments. Think of the families and all the people who are impacted because of HIV and how it's, it's a part of us. We need to deal with it. And so I'm glad we can do this. It's something government services need to provide, and we're doing it. Good.
Thank you, commissioners. I couldn't have said it any better. I agree. And with that, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Thank you so much. All right, on to item number 4, which is resolution 2024-67, intention to expend, county Title III funds. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, and McCauley, Director of Grants and Purchasing. Before you today is Resolution 2024-67, intention to expend county Title III funds. Lewis and Clark County is a recipient of $45,281.19 in federal fiscal year 2023 Secure Rural Schools and Community Self-Determination, more commonly known as just the Secure Rural Schools or the SRS Act funding. This Title III funding was something that Lewis and Clark County elected for this past fall and is something we haven't done up until this point for a number of years. Under the SRS Act, county Title III funds must be used for specific eligible activities. This includes carrying out a community wildfire protection plan. There is a required 45-day public comment period and notification to the local U.S. Forest Service Resource Advisory Committee on the intended use of these Title III funds before the county may use them. There are 3 proposed projects for the county's Title III funds. Each of these projects implement the county-adopted 2020 Tri-County Community Wildfire Protection Plan and have been deemed eligible for Title III funding under the 21 reauthorization of the Act. There are representatives from both of the organizations that have proposed projects, so I'll just give a brief summary of these and then let them provide the details. First, the City of Helena is proposing a fuels treatment project on a 31-acre unit of Mount Helena parkland adjacent to the Reber subdivision. This project would involve reducing surface fuels, reducing tree canopy bulk densities, and increasing the vertical distances to live tree canopy base height. The Title III fund request is $22,475, with the city providing $7,475 in match. And the second project is from Tri-County Fire Safe Working Group, which proposes a fuels treatment project on a 16.4-acre unit of private property located in St. Louis Gulch near the community of Austin. This property is adjacent to other treated private properties and would provide an important fire buffer to numerous properties downwind and to the one in and out road that accesses those homes. Thirdly, Tri-County Fire Safe Working Group is also proposing using remaining funds to conduct additional home ignition zone assessments for Lewis and Clark County property owners that are living in the wildland urban interface. The total Title III request from Tri-County is $22,606.19. That's the remainder of the Title III funds that we have available, with $77,819.99 being provided in match. The notice of intention to expend Title III funds will be advertised in the Helena IR the next 2 Thursdays, and a notice will be sent to the Helena Lewis and Clark Resource Advisory Committee of these projects. Public comment will be received until 4 p.m. on Monday, August 26, 24. Project proposals will be available for public inspection at the County Clerk and Recorder's Office in this building, 316 North Park Avenue, from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday during the open comment period. Written comments may be submitted to me either via email, amccauley@lccountymt.gov, or 406 Fuller Avenue, Suite 361, Helena, Montana 59601. And anyone liking more information can also contact me at that email or 406-447-8383. Staff recommendation is to approve. And at this time, I'd like to note that we have Kyle Sturgill-Simon from Emergency Management here, as well as Brad Langsouther, City of Helena Open Lands Manager, and Lois Olson, Tri-County Fire Safe Working Group President, to speak more on these projects.
And before you step aside, just a couple of questions. I don't know if anybody has some questions for Ann, but I just wanted to recognize, but also kind of talk about this a little bit. And you mentioned that we haven't elected to go after our Title III funds for a number of years, and part of that is because we didn't really have the capacity. We weren't. It might have been a combination. I mean, there's always projects, but projects at this level that are ready to go, shovel ready, if you will. Maybe not having that, maybe not having the infrastructure. You and your department didn't exist, and so I think the finance office looked at this like, wow, this is one more pile of tracking and work that we have to do in order to receive these funds and then make sure that we have expended them properly and go through all of this process. So I just want to recognize that really it's been because of you and your office, giving us the capacity to really go after these funds and then be able to follow the process and make sure that they're expended properly, make sure that they're tracked properly, all of that, which was a bit of a challenge prior to now. So thank you very much. I think it's a new day. I'm able to go after Title III funds and going forward and get some projects done, work with our partners in the community to do that. So I'm just excited about this and just wanted to recognize your good work in all of the foundational stuff that has to happen in order to even be eligible for these funds. So thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you for those kind words. There's a lot of paperwork behind this, as you're seeing right now. There's resolution and letters. Prior, we were sending all of our 15%. That wasn't Title I. Title II was going to our Resource Advisory Committee. I want to assure each of you and our public that we are still sending funds to the Resource Advisory Committee, just 8%, and we could elect up to 7% for these Title III. So Lewis and Clark County organizations are still eligible to apply for those RAC funds, as they're referred to. But yes, I'm also very excited to see us be able to use these dollars in our county for good projects.
Great. Thank you. All right. Next, Kyle, I don't know if you have some comments, and then we have.
I do have just a quick comment. Kyle Sturgill-Simon, Emergency Manager for Lewis and Clark County. We are responsible for preparedness, response, and recovery, but also mitigation. Mitigation is how I got started in emergency management, so I'm kind of a softie for it, and we're more than happy to help out and make sure that these funds go to our local partners so that we can keep the mitigation work going.
Great, thank you very much. All right, and special guests, if you guys, when you come up, you know the routine, I think, Brett, but just introduce yourself for the record and your position. So, welcome.
Thank you, Commissioners. Brad Langsouther, Open Lands Manager, City of Helena. Many of you have known me for a number of years. And many here are aware that the City of Helena Parks Department is working diligently to manage the forest fuels within our open space properties. The city is unique in the fact that we control two large wildland urban interface areas, one on the southern portion of the community and one on the western portion of the community. And this project that we've proposed is to reduce forest fuels around the Reber subdivision, which does abut some county property as well. And we're working in concert with Tri-County Fire Organization from the standpoint that they have an ARPA project that they're doing intercity fuel assessments, and the Reber subdivision approached the city parks department, recognizing that the fuels surrounding their community are of course located within Mount Helena City Park. So we're all working together to accomplish the same goal, and that is to have a safer community. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
If I might,
Please.
I just, seems like what we're doing here is going to save a lot of potential problem for citizens and for for government as well. And I'd be just a little while ago, I was talking with Mr. Sergio Simon, and we were talking about the differences in survivability when mitigation has been accomplished. And I just really appreciate the work that you're doing with the city and what we're doing here. But do you have any examples that you could share with us about things like that have made a difference in recent history?
Well, I commissioners, I think we all remember just 2 summers ago, the event that we had on Mount Helena. We had several things were favorable. The air support that we got from the DNRC in getting that fire under control, but it reminded all of us how fast something can happen in the open space and how fast it can threaten the community. One of the important things is creating conditions that make an event like that more manageable. And that's what our real goal is. There's no way that we can stop a wildfire from moving through the open space, but we can make it a more manageable wildfire. And in the efforts in this proposed project are designed around trying to reduce the intensity of that fire so that we don't have embers cast into the community and other events occurring while our protectors are trying to deal with the fire that is approaching the community. So yes, we're so excited about this project and excited to get a little piece of the puzzle done. And it's part of our overall strategy to just continue to manage the fuels within the wildland urban interface.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything else? Okay,
Thank you.
next. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Lois Olson. I'm the president of the Tri-County Fire Safe Working Group. We're a nonprofit, 501c3, been in the county since 1984. We serve the 3 counties, Lewis and Clark, Jefferson, and Broadwater. And we were really excited to be able to apply for this. This is quite an opportunity for us to be able to apply for these funds, and particularly in this part of the county. The Northwestern Valley is an area that we have difficulty reaching with some of our grant funds because we need to have a Forest Service project close, and there aren't any up there. It's adjacent to BLM ground. It's a pretty heavy populated area, actually, when you look at the residents that are out there. We're fortunate to have a 16.4 acre parcel that will provide, we believe, a lot of protection for everyone downwind. We've done work out there before, the 13.8 acres that I pointed out. We have another project on the books that we don't have fuel mitigation funding for yet, but we expect to get that. And so we will have, I think, when we're done with this project, a very nice area that will protect people that are downwind and the prevailing winds come from the southwest. So it'll push it out into the valley to other properties. Are there any questions for me?
Great, thank you. Questions? I like your info here, your comments there.
You know, Tri-County, pardon me, has been the beneficiary of some really nice grants, one of them being the one that Brad mentioned, the ARPA grant with the city of Helena, that has allowed us to do a lot of really nice publications to help people understand who we are and what we do. We've had a tremendous amount of interest, almost more than we can keep up with. And so that was the second half of this request, was to get money to provide free assessments. I was speaking to a homeowner group last night about even when we don't have the ability to go on to the next step of fuel mitigation, which these assessments don't do, but they do allow us to go out, meet with the homeowner, do the education one-on-one, provide them with a written electronic file of our assessment. And we really are a very efficient organization. We don't have much overhead. So we feel like we're a good deal for the county and for the residents.
Good. Thank you. Questions for Lois? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And just a general comment again is that I'm excited for us that we've chosen to go after these funds and then to use them in this way, and the partnerships represented here, which I think is really important. And I'm grateful for that, because we should be working together to get some of this work done. So I like that part. Other questions, commissioners? How about public comment on this item? Any other public comment on this item? Okay, hearing none. Commissioners, is there a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve Resolution 2024-67, the intention to expend county Title III funds as explained by Ms. McCauley and others here.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve Resolution 2024-67 as presented. Further discussion, commissioners? Okay, another big thank you to all of you. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much. All right, take the next step on that one. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 2024-65, setting the salaries of certain elected officials. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Before you for the record, my name is Kari DesRosier, Human Resources Director with Lewis and Clark County. And before you this morning is a resolution setting the pay for most elected officials for fiscal year 2025. The compensation is based on the same 3.5% cost of living increase given to all county employees, as well as any applicable statutory additions and longevity, and is shown on Exhibit A. The recommendation for salaries was presented and approved by quorum in a publicly noticed meeting of the Lewis and Clark County Compensation Board on June 24th. Staff recommends your approval of Resolution 2024-65.
Thank you very much. Any questions, commissioners? Any questions? Kari, just a quick one. The compensation board's made up of elected officials and at least 2 members of the public.
That's correct.
Okay.
They're kind of set who's in state statute as to who should make up the board.
Right. All set. So it's something that we do annually. We have to do it annually according to MCA.
That's correct.
And since I've been here, I think we've been here almost the same amount of time. Well, you've been here a little longer, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit longer. But I think we have annually, as we have planned our budget and set salary increases or no increases or whatever the annual compensation is for all of our county employees, the elected officials have just taken that same percentage. We've done exactly what we've done for all of the employees.
Mr. Chair, that's correct. There has been no year in which we have done something different for the elected officials versus the county employee group.
So this is just a process we have to go through according to the MCA, but we've done just the same. Okay. Any other questions? Any public comment on this item? Any public comment? Okay. Is there a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Resolution 2024-65, setting the salaries of certain elected officials as presented by Kari DesRosier.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the resolution as presented. Further discussion, commissioners? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 2024-66, setting the salary for the Lewis and Clark County Justice of the Peace and establishing office hours.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Again, my name is Kari DesRosier, Human Resources Director with the county. Before you this morning is a resolution setting pay for fiscal 2025 and establishing the office hours of the Justice of the Peace. The salary for the Justice of the Peace is based on the same 3.5% increase given to all county employees and other elected officials, along with the statutory additions. The salary for these elected officials was also approved through vote of the County Compensation Board on June 24th. Staff recommends your approval of Resolution 2024-66.
Thank you very much. Any questions, Commissioner?
I have a question.
Please.
Kari, why wasn't this on the last resolution? Isn't Justice of the Peace also an elected official?
It is, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Payne. That's a question I have not been able to find a good answer for yet. I have looked back through many years of resolutions going back to the 80s, and the resolutions have always been presented in this manner. The best answer I could probably come up with is the second resolution regarding the Justice of the Peace office also establishes the office hours, where the other resolution does not establish the office hours. So I think in order to just not add the word work in the other resolution setting just the salaries, it was separated out at one time and carried forward that way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? About public comment on this item? Any public comment? Any public comment? Okay, Commissioners, is there a motion to approve Resolution 2024-66?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the resolution as presented. Further discussion, Commissioners? Kari, thank you very much for keeping us all straight.
Thank you.
A lot of this is all laid out in statute, but we have to follow it to the T. So all of the different pieces and parts that we have to do related to elected officials, it's kind of interesting law. Some of it's very old, but
Yes.
thank you for guiding us through that.
Yes, thank you.
All right. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right. We have come to that time in our meeting where we will take public comment on any item that is under the jurisdiction of the commission, but not on today's agenda. Is there any public comment? Any public comment? Any public comment? Seeing none, hearing none, we will stand adjourned. Thank you very much.